Harlem School of the Arts. Did you guys ever come by here? Like, have you ever been in this? I've never been in this
I've been to a
building.
couple wakes next door.
Yeah, a couple wakes.
Wow.
I swear to God, all of us, we Harlem from the heart. I never knew this was a school right here.
I didn't even know
swear.
what was going on when they said meet here for a school.
We just said, only time we ever posted up on this block across the street, God bless, is a funeral.
Or
man.
wake.
Exactly. Benta's funeral
Yeah,
home.
you know.
Legendary funeral home.
In church.
Right, in the church. Well.
But this is dope, being in here for the first time. It's beautiful.
And Jimmy goes to church, Christmas and New Year's, right? That's basically it.
Nah, don't put me out there like that.
Do a jab.
He would always tell me that.
I say my prayers and I try to get to church. I try, but we definitely made it a tradition that we definitely get to church for New Year's above all,
right.
No matter what goes on. And that's been a tradition that me, Cam, Joel, Zeke, we all started years ago.
You don't have to be in church to have church.
That's true.
Church.
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 Church. You dig, man?
I do think that it's kind of weird to be here in Harlem. You guys are obviously from here and know every nook and cranny of Harlem, but you've never been inside this art school. Do you feel like Harlem is a very different place now? Like, are you a stranger in Harlem?
Never could be a stranger, but it's changing. But I mean, if you don't, that's like if you're not around, you're not going to see the changes. We see the changes as they're happening. So I like the changes. It's pretty cool to have like Applebee's on 25th, you know, all these little restaurants or on 8th Avenue, you know what I mean? They cleaned it up. I think it's cool.
Gentrification. That's what they call it, right?
It is, yeah. But has it changed what you, like, let's say you were you from 10, 15 years ago.
I ain't going front. 10, 15 years ago, I probably wouldn't like the change. But just being a little older, you know, maybe having kids and, you know, understanding that things have to change and maybe change for the better might be good. But, I mean, being young and just running around Harlem, I definitely think we got some of the glory days. Of just,
oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
The biggest change is the cops. You can't even stand on the corner and eat some chips, man. Like, it's crazy. Like, they run down on you for anything. I'm in the back of a car drinking out of a styrofoam cup, which was juice, and I got a ticket. It's just, and I'm not even on the street. That's how ridiculous it is.
What
man.
did it say on the ticket?
It's
like,
Beat Walker heavy.
Drinking outside, and they put I was on the street and I was in the car. Yeah, I hate the cops. Is crazy.
Wait, so you're not allowed to drink out of an open container
You can't
of
even
juice?
have like a styrofoam cup.
Oh, okay.
You know
They got a new thing called, what is it? Like, just being publicly intoxicated.
So if you walk
Like now
out
it's
drunk,
like you don't even have the liquor in your hand, but just because you outside while you drunk.
how do you get home from the bar?
That's what it's no wins. That's my point. It's a setup.
But let's compare it to back when you guys were first coming together, first coming out. What were you doing on the corner then? Like, just compare from now
Cases of
and then.
champagne on the floor, styrofoam cups, weed in the air, niggas
No good.
hustling,
No good.
girls walking by. I mean, it was a little bit different, especially
Hey,
summertime.
baby.
Summertime is the best time in Harlem. Like, I used to look forward to the summer times, at least the days that we were here and we wasn't on the road.
Now, you know what changed a lot too? Block parties. They shut the block parties down at 6 o'clock now. Block parties used to last till 12, 1 in the morning, and like
Four, 5.
4, yeah, depending on who block it was. And you know what I'm saying? Now it's like 6 o'clock. Like he said, it's 40 police throughout the block. Once they say go, you either go or you go to jail.
So do you feel like there could have been a Dipset in 2011? Like, could that have even happened?
Oh,
Would you
we
have been
like the
different
we
people?
like the Renaissance rent. We always would just see. We still here right now, so it's like
What
we
you mean
adapt.
as far as like hanging out in the corner?
No, just
do you
like
mean?
the way that you guys basically taught a generation about your lifestyle in Harlem. If you had more restrictions, you wouldn't have even lived that lifestyle.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, it's tough outside. It's tough.
You might be in the house.
Yeah, we used to
Nah,
be
we
on
would've figured it
145th
out.
and Broadway doing some wild stuff, so I don't even think you could do that what we was doing anymore.
We had the
Oh,
beach
but-
chairs
but-
out there. Remember, Fleet?
Nah, yeah, it was mean.
Beach chairs on
On
Lennox
145th.
Ave. On
No,
145th.
But a lot of
45th and
things
Broadway.
changed. But don't get it twisted. The kids is still wow.
Okay.
It's the generation. They probably starting actually younger, I think, than our age, because now you got them at 9 and 10. They know everything. You know, some of them in gangs. So just as much as you got the ones that's going down the right path, you still got a set of kids that's really like, wow, like, you know what I'm saying?
You know, it's almost like the way that you guys had more time, let's say, just using the block party as an example. You had more time. You had until 4 a.m. to start some shit, right? Now, everybody has to condense it. Everything is moving faster. So if you're wild, then you have to get wild faster. Like you're doing.
Oh, they don't mind.
You're doing your dirt.
They don't
quickly.
mind. That's what I'm saying. It's
Right.
like that. They getting wild faster and wilder.
It was because before you had to go outside to see what was going on. Now you just turn on the internet and you get wild in your house. Oh, this is what they doing out there? You know what I'm saying?
Or you used to have to go outside for beef. Now you get into beef on the internet, and when you go outside, it's like,
it's there.
what's popping? You know what I'm saying?
Waiting.
So
Twitter beef.
it's just like a change, but it's kind of like the same thing.
The other thing I think that was different for you guys is you came into your teens right after an era for Harlem that was legendary, right? So you guys were living basically the lifestyle that you watched growing up, which might never happen again. Those days of Alpo and Rich Porter and seeing, you know, a drug dealer
Cam and
drive
Jim
down
a
the
little
street.
bit. I mean, cut you off. They a little bit older than me, so they not. I mean,
I
they
ain't
was
that old. I
there,
ain't
right?
never met Rich
Word.
Porter
Yeah,
or
man.
Alpo.
But you were hearing the stories and you were seeing the cars and you were
Yeah,
hearing
of course.
at the parties.
That story legendary, but I ain't even never meet one of them.
I have no idea what's going on over here.
Yeah, they crazy.
But Jimmy, you're about to be put in detention. We're in school.
He thought he
Justice
thought I
for
was
the
trying to
God.
call him an old head just now.
That's what you get with the haircut.
They always knew I was the young one, the baby. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Yes.
She tried to get
young
at you.
fella.
Yes, you are. Always the
Still a
baby.
young fella.
But yeah, so I think that you guys, if you can talk about the influence that the Harlem streets had on what you wanted to talk about, what you were influenced by, what you aspired to, what your goals were, because you were seeing more like a wild lifestyle, extravagance, fashions, and all of this stuff that we will never sort of see on the streets like that again.
I mean, we were fortunate enough to put the official soundtrack to Harlem as far as painting the picture of what we witnessed, our good times, our bad times, the people that we looked up to, the things that we saw when we looked out our window, the things that we did when we came outside. And this is what we put all into our music. And we was fortunate enough to be able to witness an era. Might not have been a part of that era, but we was fortunate enough to witness an era that led us to do what we're doing today. Like, we were lucky. Where we from, you got a chance to sell drugs, or you got a chance to make it out of the hood by going to school. Going to school is usually not the first option. Selling drugs is. When we got famous or when we got a first deal, this was like in between of like, yo, it's either to make money, we gonna go hard in the streets, or we gonna take this opportunity serious and go all the way to the top and make some money and let them know how instrumental the streets was to us and how we would like to give back, and maybe we could lead by example.
Can you give me an example specifically of things that you saw coming up that you were like, I'm gonna, one way or another, maybe it's gonna be through rap, I'm gonna live like that. That's what I want. I want, you know.
In my hood, there was a dude named Big Dave. God bless him. He probably was one of the richest people that come out of Harlem from hustling and things like that. There's a couple of them that I know off the top. But I remember he had I forgot what LL cover it was, but
When he was standing on top of the BMW.
you know, the Benz. He had a
Benz.
black Benz. That was my man Big Dave, black Benz that LL used for
Borrowed. Wow.
borrow for the cover. And you know, it was just things like that. Like you got the hustlers that had the rappers like sonning them, like they had them under the wing and things like that. And it was like, wow, they get money, they got access to the music. You know, the rappers is who we looked up to. So when you see the hustlers got them under the wing, we like, maybe we used to look up to him instead of him.
Interesting. And that was a guy from Harlem, but he was influencing somebody, or he was sonning somebody from Queens. Okay.
Miss Info.
Sonny, you like
Oh,
a
that-
nigga from Queens.
Oh, that's how you want to throw that in? You're good.
I mean, that's how you put it, basically. Lending,
Good.
Nah,
lending
shouts to
him
LL.
cars.
LL was a big
Of course.
Shout out to
influence
Queens.
on us.
Miss Info.
Yes.
We was out of here. Listen, it's Cam's fault. He pulled his hamstring because we was gonna go pro. You know what I'm saying? That's what really happened. You know what I'm saying? We was out of here. He went to that one game. What was it? St. Mark's or something?
St. Mark's, yeah.
And he pulled his hamstring. So that's what led us to the other two options.
I ain't gonna say I'm happy he pulled his hamstring, but I couldn't play basketball. So if he wouldn't have pulled his hamstring and went the rap way, I probably would have never met him for that, because I came a little bit later. You dig what I'm saying? So thanks to that hamstring or whatever, you know what I mean? Got
I think that was the decision, because they was rapping all through high school. They was getting busy. Him, Bloodshed, Mace, they still was doing the rap thing in high school.
Do you think that he had the, like in hindsight, do you think that he had the discipline to be an NBA player?
You don't need
like,
discipline to be an NBA player.
If you're nice, it don't matter what you do.
There.
I went to college, I ain't graduate high school. Like, if you nice, you could just do whatever you want, you know what I'm saying?
Wait, whoa. That's
happen,
not for y'all. That's
Basketball is $1 billion sport. So if you excel at it, they're gonna make sure that you get there.
You know
Act
how
like
many
y'all ain't hear that.
basketball
Act like
players
y'all ain't
there
hear
are, though,
that.
that are now like in like complete bankruptcy? Like it's not.
I mean, it's if you don't have the know-how to save your money and do something with it, of course you're gonna spend it all.
Right.
It's what
It
you
ain't
do
just
when you get the
basketball
money.
players in that position.
That's true. That's true. A lot of rappers too. But
Out of everybody.
you know,
Recession.
thankfully, thank you, Cameron's hamstring. Things did go a different direction.
Between
And,
his hamstring and Biggie Smalls keeping his word after he passed away was the two reasons that we are here today.
yeah, there was so many crazy things that went into, like so many things that came together at the right time for Cam to, you know, hook up with Entertainment and Biggie and be part of that. So I think that, you know, a lot of people know that history, but I kind of want to get into when you guys all became a collective group, right? So it's wild to think that it was about 8 years ago, but Diplomatic Immunity was 2003, right?
So you mean come together doing the album? Because this was something that's been going on since we graduated from high school. Like it was Legacy before it was. Remember that? Remember it was Legacy? It was Legacy before it was Diplomat. Then Cam said, "Yo, somebody got that name trademark already. We can't use Legacy. We gotta do something else." And
Legacy is horrible. What?
But you telling me it's horrible, but
Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, like, thank God Legacy was already trademarked.
Dude, we told me it's 17, 18 years old. Like, it sounded good then. Like,
we had headbands,
Look,
t-shirts.
names is going back now to Wiz Khalifa. Now you got Sci-Fi. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like the names that, I'm not to say it like that, but names are kind of going back to the way they was like now. Back in the days, the names are getting a little bit more different. Like it's Cam, Jewels, now it's Wiz Khalifa. Like that's not really a name that you kind of would have just picked 5 years ago.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like serious. Like
I mean,
I
there's
don't
definitely
think.
trends, but I think that for the Diplomats, it was, again, whether it's fate or just everything happening, you know, at the right time, the imagery was perfect. Like, who came up with the logo for the Diplomats?
Digger.
Really? Six-figure Digger?
It was Digger. We all came with it a little bit, but Digger was the one to bring the dollar bill. Like, we need to go with this, with the Diplomats.
And that's, just to clarify, a producer who started with Entertainment. And then he was also, you know, producing for you guys afterwards. But really? So is that why he at one time claimed that he owned the trademark? Because he came up with that logo?
He owned the silkscreen machine. I don't know if he owned the trademark.
But you remember that, right?
He could print up shirts.
Yeah, shouts to Digger, man. He was definitely a part of this Diplomat history in the beginning stages.
I'm going to keep it 100.
Yeah,
I'm
Cam,
gonna keep
tell
it
us the
100.
story.
Digger, he didn't want to go get the Diplomat tattoo, talking about, well, when Jim gets it together and Jewels learns how to rap right, then I'll go get a tattoo. I'm not with all that. No, he's like the businessman. He ain't really
Right.
see. Like, I'm like, yo, man, all right. He's like, I'm going to do six-figure entertainment. This is my man. We cool now. I'm just telling you a story. He's like, I'm going to do six-figure entertainment. I'm like, I don't even like the way that sounds. You stopping at six figures, and I ain't really with that six-figure joint. You know what I'm saying? So I already don't even like the way your company sound. I'm going to take the Diplomat thing. You take six-figure, and I'm going to go this way, and you go that way, because we started falling out over, you know, like, the artists and everything, trying to get the company together.
Wow. Okay. And then at a certain point, he tried to come back
Then when
again.
we was popping, he's like, I own the Diplomats, and you know they owe me money and yada yada.
But so you obviously.
But I mean, we cool nowadays. I'm just telling you a story.
You guys knew each other for a long time. How far back do Cam and Jimmy go? Like, if you
Like
guys
10?
can.
Age 10? 11?
like maybe 8 or 9.
And then what
His
about,
grandmother and my grandmother lived in the same building, so you know how you go to your grandmother's house on the weekend?
Mm-hmm.
We always seen each other, no homo, every weekend.
Okay. And what about Zeke?
No homo.
Zeke, I knew Zeke literally from 8. We went to summer school together. That's how I met Zeke in summer school, Catholic school.
And he from the east side too, so
Yeah, they both
I
from the
met
east
Zeke when I was
side.
about 13 or 14.
And then
Eastside.
for the baby, for Els,
Yeah.
when did you guys first meet him?
I met L when I was just finished my first album, going into my second album. My man Tobe, I know Tobe since I was 5 years old. Like me and Tobe went to kindergarten together, graduated together. Well, graduated elementary together. Then he went to another school, whatever. But we always stayed in contact or whatever. And then he kept telling me about Jewels, and Jewels was in the deal, and the deal was messed up that he was in, and he was in a group. So I heard the group, and Jewel's partner wasn't as good as Jewel's, I felt. So I was like, yo, you know, I know you loyal, but you should try and work with us and get something popping. And that was that. But Tobe kept telling me about him, but I'm like, look, man, let me get my thing together. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Tobe.
Like, I only got one album out. Let me get it together. So I fell asleep in my car one day, and I was asleep in my car, and Tobe was driving. I woke up. He woke me up. He like, yo, here go my man in the back seat right now. You ready to rhyme? I'm like,
God.
I'm looking at him like, yo, man, I don't got
How
time.
long were you sitting next to him while he was sleeping?
I was like 18, 17, 8, going on 18 or 8. Just
How
turned.
was
long were you in the
16.
car?
You said what?
How long were you sitting
Oh,
in the
nah,
car?
Tobe had just called me downstairs. He like, yo, come down. No, he called me on the phone. He said, I'm driving around the block, Cam's sleeping, come downstairs. And like he said, I was in a group. My partner wasn't home yet. Shout out to my partner, Malik, at the time. So I came downstairs, I got in the car. Like he said, Cam was sitting in the passenger seat, dead sleep. He woke up wiping his face or whatever the case. And he just gave,
I
he
ain't
didn't
gonna
even
front,
really
I was
look at
pissed
me.
at Tobe.
Yeah,
I'm
that's what I
like, yo,
said.
I'm
No,
like,
no, no.
I'm sleep.
I
gotta-
knew that.
I got to wake
Yeah,
up
that's
to
a
this.
horrible way to
Yeah,
set
I
you
was
up,
just about
really.
to say
You gotta
that.
realize, like, not to cut you off, but like
Nah.
in Harlem, like before Mace, we used to think like Harlem got the jinx. Everybody from Brooklyn get on, and Queens is popping,
Wow.
and this person's popping from Staten Island and Long Island. Like Big L and Gruff was our rappers, but it never was like nothing national. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
we was like, we got the jinx on us. So after Mace, we was like, yes, the jinx
popping,
over.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I got everybody trying to rap to me now in Harlem. So I'm like, I don't got time for this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's what happened.
Yeah, but I knew that look he had because he looked at Tobe while he was driving like, oh, you
Kid
really
was
just
hype.
going to drive over here and got this little nigga in the back of my car? Like,
Right.
but I knew that was my only chance. He said, nah, this is my cousin I was telling you about, rap, basically. So I rapped, and it
So
wasn't
you had
even,
to rap
To a-
for a guy who had just woken up
Just
and
woke
was
up.
grumpy as hell and
Yeah.
did not want you to be sitting next to him.
so I had to be kind of good, right?
Nah, that's
Exactly.
Nah, but he didn't
I
even,
was tight, and then he started rapping. I was like, hey, yo, shorty, nice, right? Hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm
but he
like,
didn't show me that. He didn't really show no
Nah, he
emotion. I just got out the car and kind of waited for
Nah,
Tobe to call
I
me.
went back to the crib. I told Jim, because me and
He
Jim
went
was standing
crazy when he
I was
came to
like,
that
yo,
crib.
it's this young kid Tobe got
Really?
uptown.
I
He's
remember
popping.
the bars you said, nah, he said, I keep guns in my trunk. When I go swimming, I keep guns in my trunks.
Now, you know the line that got me? I'm going to keep it 100 when he said, son, about we still stealing cable. We got the chip in the box, and everybody was stealing cable at that
Yeah.
time. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
my whole building was doing that.
Yeah, like we got mad free cable, so I was feeling that. Hey, yo, there go Tobe right there, too, though, just real quick.
Tobe,
Get a little shout out to
And I
Tobe
do
real
think
quick.
it's very important to make a note of the fact that there are people that I've literally known for, oh my God, 15 years as your friends. Like the same people all the time, the same faces, whether it's Tito or like definitely
Poppin'.
a very, very tight crew. But if you could just really quick give us a little background on what was the group that you had before and what how did you even get on?
Actually, shout out to my partner, and even once Cam, kind of told him that he wanted to kind of push forward with me and not my partner, it was something that I sat down and talked with my partner about, and know what I'm saying, we both felt like it was the best thing to do. You know what I'm saying, because at that time I hadn't known Cam, so it was a move that I was making, on a person that was like my brother.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? So we sat down, we chopped it up, we both understood that it would be the best move for both of us.
What does he do now?
He still rap. He actually moved to Florida. He got a real big family. He just love having kids. That's what I told him.
And what was the name of the group?
Draft Pick. We actually we had a little deal, like Cam said. It wasn't
Yeah.
a good deal. We was real young, like 15. You know what I'm saying? I was still, kind of worried about more what was going on in the street till I met Cam, and I saw that it was really like something that could be bigger than just if it was something that I put my all into.
Right.
And I still got a lot of discipline from Cam because I wasn't fully focused. Like I had good rhymes, but I didn't have that many rhymes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So Cam always had that tough love on me, the way it was like I said, I tell people the story all the time. It was times we would be on the road on the tour, and if I ain't have a new rhyme written, I couldn't go to the club. I had to stay on the tour bus.
No, tell them about Chicago.
And write the rhyme. You know what I'm saying?
Most
So-
important song.
It was a few. Like, I'm gonna keep all his stupid ass songs was under pressure like a shot clock. Like, we was living in Chicago. We all get dressed to the club. He told us earlier, he like, nah, I finished the song. So we getting dressed. He like, we like, nah, throw the beat on. It's finished. He threw it on. He like,
The freestyle?
That bullshit.
no, it was supposed to be a song. We like, yo, we bring you something back, all right? Knock that out or whatever. Word. And it was gangster music.
It was gangsta
It was
music.
Dipset anthem though. You know what I'm saying?
So it paid off. It
It
paid
paid
off for them to
definitely.
put you on punishment and keep
Always.
you
I remember
Always paid off.
I remember Santana's Town. I'm like, look, man, we was in my house. I said, look, we gotta be at Funk Master Flex at 7 o'clock. It's like 3 o'clock. I said,
Okay.
we need a new song, man. He wrote it in like 4 hours. Like, no, you can't go with me to the store. We got 7 o'clock. We got 4 hours. We went recorded.
Definitely.
And that joint came out
So
crazy.
you're one of those people that you need pressure in order to
I
work.
definitely think I could come through in the pressure time.
Nah, I think
I
it's
wouldn't
Cam.
say I need it. At that time, I was still young, just getting to,
So Jimmy says that it was actually Cam
Nah,
and
Cam
his
put
whole
people under pressure.
attitude.
No, it was. Nah,
Of
it's that,
intimidation. You
To this
were-
day.
like I say,
Hell yeah.
tough love is sometimes, you may not want it from some people, but when it's some people that's giving you tough love for a good reason, and like I said, he was older than me. He had been through a lot more than me in the game, so I respected it. I was a fan of his before I met him. You understand what I'm saying? So, like I said, it was a learning process for me, and every bit of it paid off. The whole just tough love and just, you know what I'm saying?
But then at the same time, who puts pressure on you? Who was
And
Nobody.
Zeke was responsible for me.
Nobody. Cam walk in the studio right now, his pressure on. Niggas like, I gotta get my verse done fast. Because Cam come in here, do his verse in 3 minutes and have you looking crazy. Like, yo, you gonna do this or what? You be in there sweating. Still, right now to this day, I go to his house
Like,
to
word?
record, I be in there sweating in the basement. Like, I gotta get my shit together. He a perfectionist when it comes to music, and he don't like to waste time.
I keep it 100, like the Rob report put pressure on me when I get on a flight and read the magazines with boats costing $22 million and jets and plane. I'm like, we gotta catch up. Rob
Really?
report, read the Rob report. They keep you on point every month.
Well, it's interesting you say that because I do know that you would always know about all of these sort of material possessions or different lifestyles that were rich and fabulous. But it's not necessarily the fame that puts the pressure on you. It's more the lifestyle. Would you rather take that than the fame?
I mean, shit line you said, dog, in this new song. Money for fame.
I rather pray for money before I pray for fame, because I figure with the money I could pay for fame.
Yeah, you rather if you got money, you could pay to be famous. There's a bunch of people famous for nothing. What do Paris Hilton do?
You could pay
know
the
what I'm
famous
saying?
people just to stand next to them.
Kardashians is all famous and rich, just from knowing somebody's relative because your father's father owns some hotels.
Right.
You make money you could be famous, but having money is a totally different thing.
That's very interesting.
The
Well,
game-
now, okay, obviously, before you were on Sony, then you made the transition over to Roc-A-Fella. That was a life-changing transition.
Definitely.
And it also changed, I think, everything for the rest of the crew. I mean, yes, you already knew each other, you were already working together, but life was much different on Roc-A-Fella, correct?
Yes, sir.
Was
Yes,
was it like
Well,
being around other people who were on such a
It was
high
just
level?
good energy. Like, you know, we on Sony, we fighting for spins. They not doing the videos right. You know, lost his deal. SDE didn't do the numbers we wanted. And then we had somebody that we used to hustle for in the #1 spot in the rap business, which was Dame Dash. When we kind of had like a little falling out over something in the street years ago, but Harlem dudes is stubborn. We won't apologize till it's like, man, you
Yes.
know what? Just forget it. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? So me and Damon fell out over something in the street. So when I did start doing my music thing and he started doing his career, and Roc-A-Fella took off. And I was at a point in my career where I kind of hit a brick wall. And I'm like, I did a lot of things for Dame now. He going to have to hear my sorry at least. You know what I'm saying? So I went to apologize. And he's like, yo, it ain't nothing, Cam. Come on, let's go. And that was pretty much it. And you're not going to have too many people in the music business teach you the business. Everybody else is so worried about making a dollar off you that they're not going to teach you the business. Where Dame sat down and broke down to us what our problems was on Sony and kind of taught us how to make money in the business.
Do you also think that Dame wanted you guys there because maybe for whatever reason what was happening within Roc-A-Fella, he felt like, oh, now I have my friends here. Like,
I just think he was a businessman. I don't think
Smart.
it's
Okay.
yeah. It was
If
just
we was whack, we wouldn't have been there.
Dame was smart, man.
He's smart, yo. It wasn't about nothing in the background. First of all, he didn't have to do that favor. They was at that peak of their music career. They had just sold more records than DMX, but DMX was beating them at that time. Them niggas, they didn't need us. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't because something was going wrong. Their machine was running smoothly.
how did
And Dame, I don't mean to cut you off, like just like Cam said, Dame wanted everybody to be bosses. Look, even like Beanie Siegel, Beanie Siegel had his own clothing line, like a lot of that. Like Jay was an artist until Dame left. I mean, Jay didn't really take care of none of the business. Dame took care of everything, from the moves to. That's why he was looked at as the bad guy, and it was easy for people to kind of shut him out after Jaden, because he was doing all the. You know how you got good cop, bad cop.
Right, right,
you
right.
understand
He
what
was
I'm
the bad
saying?
cop.
So,
Right.
and he fought for everything. So when, whatever.
I think,
But Dame was very smart though.
But you know,
Still
he
smart.
does have a reputation for being hard to deal with. Did you guys not find that? Like, did you not have those infamous arguments with him? You know, where his
Always
you know,
had-
he has
we
a very
always had
interesting
arguments
ego.
with Dame.
Another cocky Harlem nigga. That's what you say. Like
Okay.
we from Harlem, so you kind of know what Dame was all about. Just
Me
like
and Dame was about to shoot the fair one in Def Jam hallway one time, yo. It was word.
Dame and Jewels?
No,
Damn,
yeah, like it
Over
happens.
what?
yeah, y'all two right before that little Apollo show.
I forget what.
No,
it was
remember
about.
we had a big fight the day we were supposed to be signed. Cam told him, you don't have them fucking papers at 12 o'clock backstage. It ain't no diplomat signing. Remember that one?
Yeah, because what happened was I started rocking. Well, the whole Diplomat started rocking, and I was telling Dame, I'm like, yo, it's time for my niggas to start rocking. What's up? He like, just chill, Cam, chill. It's gonna be good. Just wait a minute. I'm like, I hear you, but I don't really hear you. Like, we gotta go now. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So I went upstairs to Kevin Lyle's office, and Kevin Lyle's was like, he seen Jewels. He's like, Diplomats? Bet, I'm signing it. And you know, Roc-A-Fella was on Def Jam, so Dame went upstairs flipping. How the fuck you going, Paul Malone? How the fuck you going sign them? I asked you for the money to sign them. Nah, 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 nah. So I cursed Kevin Lyles out. And Kevin's like, look, man, he signed to us, he signed to you. I make the same amount of money. It doesn't matter to me, Dame. I really don't care. And then that's what happened. So me and Dame started flipping. No homo, man. Me and Dame started flipping. Dame started flipping and say, we're going to do the deal through Roc-A-Fella, but he keep telling us, hold on. I'm like, look, take the money out your bank account and give it to us. You can't tell hungry niggas, hold on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
You just wanted to get
and
going.
every day, it was like, it might have been 3 days, but it felt like 87 days. Like, so
riding
Well,
around
He just
in that
ended up, I
cab
was like, yo,
waiting
you
for
gotta
that
have my
phone
money
call.
tomorrow, man. I ain't playing.
once you guys did get rolling, I mean, you were already featured on Come Home With Me, but then there was Diplomatic Immunity. This is when Cam, as kind of the head honcho of this, you made a decision, I want to go forward with the group and make this. Did you think of it as, another rock dynasty? Did you compare it to some other type of like mega group?
Nah, you know why I think people liked us so much is because we just lifestyle. It isn't like it was formulated. It isn't like it's some dude from Philly, well, not dissing them, but it was like guy from Brooklyn, guy from Philly, another guy from Brooklyn, dude from Chicago. We all kind of we just from the same neighborhood, so it's kind of natural, you know what I'm saying? When we got in the rap beefs with everybody jumped on the song, whether they had beef with them or not, you know what I'm saying? We was
Right.
beefing with Nas, it was like, whatever, you know what I'm saying? It was more family orientated, so I think that's why people kind of like what we got going on.
Well, let's just play something. Y'all remember that song. But I stopped it at a very key point.
The bandana's on the spin. Yo, Jim said it, or he tweeted it. Yo, man, people wait till they get famous to join. Not to glorify gangs or nothing, but it's just something that we kind of was a part of before it was just this big like kind of like fashion state. It's kind of like a fashion statement right now, right? You don't think? Not really. Realistically,
Right.
it's not.
Right.
But in
Hip-hop
the
industry-
entertainment world, it's like a fashion
Right, I
statement.
see what you
Yeah.
mean. Like some people who don't.
Like I said, a
necessarily-
lot of people wasn't cool. It was a lot of things that came with. Cam just said Dame. They ran down on Dame just for having them red flags on the thing. So it was a lot more.
Why Dame? Why did they target Dame for that instead of
See
you?
in the video, he was the first one they saw in L.A. first.
And so how did you guys resolve that? Did you?
I just found out about it just now.
Nah, Dame, I guess Dame knows some people. He called me flipping about it. Yo, man, we gotta sit there and talk. Yo, yeah, this real. I'm like, look, man, I'm in New York. Come back home. Figure it out.
Well, the other
yeah,
thing that was
Dame was-
interesting about that verse, what happened, Zeke?
No, I'm just looking at that chain. That's the chain I got shot over right there.
Oh wow.
Word, stupid Murph. Then
That's not-
this little dude Murph, he gonna go to Mexico and not have his papers, and they gonna take the chain. So now the chain is somewhere in Mexico
It's
because
cursed.
he ain't
You
have
don't
his
want that
papers.
chain. That chain is cursed. But what's also interesting is a lot of people paid attention to that verse because that's where Joel says 2 more for Cam for taking over the rock.
Yeah,
Boom, boom.
that's what happened. It was like we came there at a time. Jay definitely was Jay. Don't take nothing away from Jay, but as far as just Cam, he did the Come Home With Me. That was a great success for numbers and just a great time for us. And like we were real hungry. We knew what we was coming there for. Like we came to Baseline to work, not to gamble, not to do none of the other
I was gambling.
extracurricular activity. Yeah, but you wasn't a full-blown rapper at that time. You was still like, you was dibbling and dabbling. So you was gambling in the room a little bit.
Jimmy,
Know
was
what I
a
mean?
Jimmy was a video director.
Yeah, he
Let's
was
be
kind of
clear.
like a everything man at the time.
Jimmy would introduce himself as a director.
That's what I say. He directed that video right there.
You would do MTV interviews where you would talk about how all of the videos that you were directing for Dipset and other people.
Yeah, no, the video thing was the first chance I got to do a video was Old Boy. Me and Ken had a conversation. I was like, since we got all this creative control, that's what they used to call it back in the day. If you do a deal, make sure you got creative control. Cam did the Roc-A-Fella deal. I'm like, since we got this creative control, let me try to direct the first video. He was like, yeah, let's do it. If it looks good, we're going to do the next one. And by chance, I got a good director to help me out with the Old Boy. Old Boy was a success. Cam went platinum, and I kept doing the director thing.
I used to be flipping. I'm like, put your name on the credits, take his name off the credits. Why isn't your name on every credit? Because I like the way that everybody's name was on the screen. Like even like Hey Ma videos, like Zeke, Jewels, directed by Jim, and
Yeah.
it just looked good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then what made you decide that you wanted to go and focus more on being an
'Cause
artist?
I was also, I had a lot of positions. So on the road, I was manager, road manager. So I've been with Cam forever. So I've been picking up thousands and thousands of
Jim
dollars
may
at
not
every show.
been not as good as he is now, but he always rapped. He's on my first album ever. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
he had a
Slow
lot of
creep.
But that was more like it was almost a gimmick.
But whatever, he helped out. He had a lot of input. You like even like the whole what's the song I hate, man? What's my first song?
Hey, Ma, Horse and Carriage.
Horse and Carriage.
What? You hate that
I hate that song. I never liked this song. I hate that song.
Yeah, that song was crazy.
I hate it.
What do you
It
hate
worked.
about
It worked though.
I just never liked it, man. I just hate it. I know it got us rocking, and I argue on.
What about you guys? Do you guys hate that song or do you love that song? Love.
I hate it, but Jim is the one who came up with like the idea, like, yo, why don't you throw a little concept with Puerto Rican judo in there? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, that's kind of hot. Yeah, let me put that together.
So he was the ideas man. He was a concept
creator.
creator.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Not my whole album, but I'm
Right.
saying we did stuff together. So he definitely had input since the beginning.
Even Hey Ma, Zeke put the Hey Ma chorus together. That was one of the biggest records that came out of just us as the Diplomat you know.
Right.
Zeke was in there. Hey Ma, what's up? Just being crazy, freaky, and that it stuck. You know, we formulated it together in the right way, and it just, hey Ma.
And obviously everybody also knew Zeke because they thought that he was having a seizure in every video.
Yeah, I used to come out with the medium-sized Superman one-piece outfit on the stage.
Yes, I'm definitely remember
Crazy.
that.
I was a.
No homo.
I remember
Hey,
that.
let me
fell
tell
off
you
the
a story.
stage.
Let me tell you a story real quick. So we out on tour everywhere, right? We on Puff Daddy tour, right? So I'm performing. Me and Jim performed before. Like, it was so foul what they did to us, man. Like, the stage was about the size of this right here. Like, you know how Puff got this whole thing is the stage? They, like, just go in front of the curtain, and it's this size,
Yeah.
like, right here. Like, literally, for real, it might be the size with these turntables
I was a
on.
fan. I was watching at that time.
So me and Jim come out. It's like word to mother, probably like in the arena now, probably like 100 people. It's looking dumb empty, but people's there. Then Zeke busts out on this little stage with a Superman costume, like a tight Superman with a cape and construction boots, like tight though, like. And we trying to perform on this little stage, and he's like trying to dance, and we like. Yo, what you gonna tell your man? Man, this dude is crazy. So nobody really knows us like that around the country or whatever. So we get back to the hotel now. You know, everybody looking for groupies. Mace got the groupies. Little Kim got the whatever. So girls is in the lobby like, where is Superman at? Yo, nigga, Zeke said, oh shit, they looking for me. He goes back to the bedroom and puts on the Superman outfit and comes in the lobby like, oh, y'all was looking for me. There goes Superman right there. Word, yo.
You walked off stage? You were
The stage is so little.
This is his first time.
The first time he ever performed, he tried to fly out the curtains and didn't know the stage was that little and fell like about 7 feet.
The crazy thing is, it's funny hearing them talk about this story because this was before I met them, and I was actually at that concert. Jim had on a robe and his boxers.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how Jim would come
Stayed
out.
in some
I was
robe.
just a fan with tickets to the Puff Daddy concert, like there early, because you're right, they came on early. So for you to be there at that time, it was like I was there, like.
wow.
Know what I mean?
We used to start some of our concerts, 20,000 people in the middle of the crowd. Remember that? Start at the top of the bleachers, walk down the steps, and walk through the crowd, and then get on stage.
Was it just because you were on so
because
early
we
that
was
you could
just-
just do whatever
Nobody
you wanted
knew
to?
where we was in Iowa.
Yeah.
We in Iowa, they like, whatever. Let's do what we got to do to get some chicks tonight, period.
And obviously what you needed to do is wear
They
a
paid us
Superman outfit.
$600 to do the whole Puff Daddy tour.
Wait, what?
Word.
How much?
I don't remember, but if that's what he say, it's about right.
Arnie gave us $1,800 to split up 3 ways.
Oh my God. All right, we're gonna go to another
We
song.
bought our own product with us.
Um, let's play Hey Ma. Oh, let's play I Really Mean It.
We was winning.
You got.
I'm checking out the bandana swag. Like, we all had on full made bandana outfits and all that. Jim had on the red jacket. Cam had on the pink with the boots.
This was the pink. This was the heavy pink era.
Now,
Yeah, this was the start of it.
Right.
That was like the beginning of it though. Like oh nah, the video bust out crazy.
Cam, how do you feel about the fact that you you went so hard for the color pink? It was like a legendary campaign.
Whole thing was I didn't even try to like make pink hot. You know what I'm saying? I just was like, I'm tired of looking like everybody shopped the same places in Harlem and all that. It's only East Side, The Hill, 25th, Jimmy Jazz, Harlem on her 45th. So I'm like, I'm start going to Parlo's Signature and get my stuff made.
Jimmy Jazz
You know what I
bootlegging
mean?
right now too.
Yeah, so.
But this was also produced by Just Blaze. So at that point, you were working with a lot of the Roc-A-Fella sort of stable of producers.
Yeah.
What was that like? Did you feel like it opened up a whole new creative lane for you guys to have, Baseline was a hangout where everybody would go. Like, what was your
The whole thing
routine?
was our routine
Not for us.
No.
No, go ahead. I was just saying it wasn't a hangout for us.
That's what I was about to say. Like, they was bullshitting with the studio. We was getting there at 2 o'clock, making the engineer get there at 2 p.m. By the time they linger in there at 1, 2 in the morning and then really don't want to get no work done, we had like 7 songs done.
Remember they started riffing with us like all the other camps, like telling Dame like, yo, they hogging the studio. Because we'd get up, send somebody in there early, because if you wasn't there first, you didn't get the big room. The only time you didn't get the big room if Jay was around.
Jay or Cam
So
was
we
in there, you know what I mean?
We was
Right.
hogging that big room.
Right.
But Jay never really even came. So by the time anybody else came, it was like, yo, we was here first. It's too
Yeah,
late.
because Jay kind of recorded like albums, like he'd take a month to record an album. We kind of just recorded on a daily
the time,
basis. Like
right.
it didn't matter whether we had an album coming. We recorded and made projects just with the music extra music that we had. Oh, we got so much music, but we gonna put this.
Interesting
Oh, we
because
gonna.
that's kind of
know
like
what
the
I mean?
way that the music industry works nowadays, where artists are basically forced to record
Yeah.
all year round and constantly in between their albums.
And
put
plus
out
the
mixtapes.
demand is so much more. Just
it's
like
different now though. Back then there wasn't no internet, there wasn't nothing viral. You couldn't press one button and send it out to everybody in the world in 1 second.
You didn't
It
worry
was-
about leaks.
Yeah, it was an anticipation that you could build back in the day because if we from New York, to get it to the rest of the country was a whole project you had to do. You had to get a marketing, promotional strategy.
We
to get all that
literally-
music out. It wasn't no MP3. You had to mail it.
we was in the mall with our mixtapes, handing them out personally. Like
Word.
Cam, we would go to we have a bus full of mixtape shirts. We would go if Cam had a show, we would go in every mall early and just make sure all of us personally was making sure, even if they knew us at the time or didn't know us, we was still
Even
personally
the first
handing
summer
out the
jam, we was in the
mixtapes.
parking lot where Cam got the call. We was in the parking lot in one of the trucks handing out VCR tapes with all our videos on it. Remember that? And then Cam got the call like, Nas is flaking. Could y'all come in the building and perform?
Wow.
And we went in that building and went stupid.
But wow, yeah, that was a historic moment. What about working with Just Blaze? Like, if you can tell me, what was that like? Like, what was your relationship at that time?
Just was always, it really wasn't no really working with Just. Just left beats, we did them, and that was it.
Now, Just Blaze was cool.
He was cool. He'd come in,
He just had to fall in line. So
Just is like, if it was up to Just, he doesn't want to do beats. I remember when I first got to Roc-A-Fella, I couldn't even understand his train of thought. But he was just, he's a smart dude. He's like, and I remember we was arguing over something. I think we had stole the old boy beat or Jewel stole the beat. Jewel's put the battery in my back to steal the beat, no homo. And he did. Yo,
Was it
fam.
really like? Was it a point of was it an argument? Because the way that he tells it now, I think that he's said that it wasn't really a big deal. Jay-Z had wanted it, but then wasn't going to use it for
nah,
a
man,
long time.
it's a
so that he-
different. The story behind that.
I'm telling everything if we gonna be up here, man.
real.
You know,
Kanye
It's all
ga-
good. Fuck.
wasn't
Okay,
that
yeah.
Kanye had gave you the
Izzo.
H to the
That
Izzo
was
beat?
after. That was after.
that was after that.
That was after.
After
The real
Old Boy?
argument started off, I really mean it beat that Jay was pissed off about.
So
It was
that
some
Just
beef,
Blaze.
though.
What was the problem with this beat?
We took it.
Cam was
I
supposed to
really
have a
mean it.
beat and something panned out, and we went to the studio and jacked old boy.
Nah, this what happened with old boy. We was
Okay.
coming to the studio every day, baseline, and we heard the beat, and they like, just like, yo, hold up, hold up. Yeah, no, I don't know if he said that, he might have. He know better, but I just remember he's like, hold up. He was fronting. It was like 3 months, and then he wasn't there. He was like, yo.
It was Guru in there. We
Guru
told him
was
pull
there.
that beat
He
up.
Like, and we was like, yo, throw that beat on, man. It been sitting in the same. So that's like we come here every day and it's just sitting there for like
Right.
4 months, and then we just Joel's like, I'm doing it. He got on it. I'm like, I'm doing it no more.
And then you literally, after you recorded it, you brought it to Hot 97.
Word.
Yeah.
Same day, hour later, right?
Fast.
But the whole song wasn't even done. It was just
Yeah, it
Cam's
was the
first
first
verse,
sound,
and I
first-
came in after Cam. Then the song stopped. It was like 2 minutes long. Then Cam went back in after me. Then I came back in. Then it was a full song. But we took it to the radio, and it was just
But that-
his verse, then my
was-
verse after that.
That wasn't my favorite part of the whole joint. My favorite part was after y'all did the remix with Baby and them, and the old boy put his verse on and Cam erased
Yeah, a lot
that
of
shit
people-
from the face of the earth. Like,
Earth.
erase it out the whole.
We walked in the
world.
studio. Guru said, "Yo, no." Jay said, "Yo, I got a surprise for y'all." So you know, Cam already. This is already stuff was like, you know, we was wondering why he didn't want to jump on records that he could have jumped on already. So now, old boy is out this world,
Right.
getting probably at 10,000 spins. We walk in the studio. Jay taps Cam like, "Yo, I got a surprise for you." So we walk in the studio room, and Cam like, "What's the surprise or whatever?" So Guru just pulls up, "Old Boy."
But with
And
the
it got
Jay-Z
a
verse.
Jay-Z verse.
Okay.
On top of the Jay-Z verse, he's dissing Nas in the, you know, he threw 2 shots at Nas. So it was like, for
What
one,
did he say?
I don't even know. Cam just said, for one, Cam made him erase the whole verse to the point to where, you know how you'll still may hear like a leaked verse?
Yeah.
It was to the point where Cam told Guru, you better erase that. I don't ever want to hear that. J-Bug gonna have to come in here and lay this again if the world gonna have to hear this. Know what I mean? Yeah, it wasn't meant
It
to
was
be on
whack.
that record.
It was.
Oh my God.
It wasn't
Jay is-
suitably
We
fit.
think Jay is. We think.
Unbiased?
No, we think Jay is. I think Jay is a great rapper, but
Yeah.
that joint was crazy trash. Like,
The
don't
be-
give
No.
don't give us the giveaway bars.
He
like-
said, Nas, you
like,
ain't
know what I'm
the
saying?
boy.
Nah, the dopest night of baseline is when Cam and Jay did that record. It was like a fight. Welcome to New York.
Yeah, they had me so mad.
That was the dopest night of recording ever that I've still seen
But
to this
Jay,
day.
it had to be that way because like Jay ain't really show us like Dame was out like people. Jay really like Jay had to never speak to us type attitude. You know, come in and be like, yo, Jay, you know we're new there, so we trying to be cordial with everybody and trying to get in no homo where we fit in. Like, hey, everybody, how you doing? Things
Yeah.
like,
You sure you were trying to be cool, Cam? Because you're
Word
an
to-
alpha
Nah,
male.
Jay was
word
cool.
to blood,
You're an
yo.
alpha.
He was cool. on
Nah,
baseline.
word to blood, because we can't come in wilding on somebody got an establishment that's already about something and
Cam,
we're struggling.
Dipset, throughout the history of Dipset,
it-
has definitely come
You
to
don't
other
understand how it
establishments
got
and
to.
wilded.
That's after we got our just due. We didn't walk in the building and just go for the song. It ain't go
Definitely.
like that. You know what I'm saying? We was real nice, but niggas gave us they ass to kiss. Like, you know, we'll come in like, hey Jay, how you doing? Nigga?
Maybe that's just the way that. Maybe that's just a personality. Like,
Nah, hell no.
Nah, that he definitely was on some
Oh,
super
my
laid
God.
back shit like that.
Just like that. You know what I'm saying? And then I did a song. Old boy he put out that joint song with Just Blade with Beanie Siegel and Memphis Bleak.
Rock.
Yeah, that joint started popping off.
Yep.
Then we got something else that popping off. Then he like that's been going on with me and him forever, man. You know what I'm saying? Like my first album ever, he comes in Sony studio. You know what I'm saying?
This is back during the Confessions of Fire.
My first album ever.
Entertainment days.
My
Hit-
first, yeah, I
Hit
didn't have
Factory.
he had a couple albums. I didn't have an album out, but he comes in and is like, yo, let me talk to you for a minute. But I'm like, it's cool because I knew him from when we was hustling for Dame. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it was like I ain't know him, but we ain't see each other. And I was like, yo.
Yeah.
Want to tell you, I ain't know you was that nice. You know what I'm saying? I just want to let you know. I think you nice, my nigga. I'm like, nah, I appreciate it, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing if maybe we could do something for my album, you know what I'm saying? He like, I'm not here to lobby for a spot on your album, you know what I mean? I'm like, yo, man, all right, my nigga, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, then why'd you even come in here? You know what I'm saying? Period. What's the use even saying that? You know what I
But
mean?
it could have also, just to be fair, it could have been an
being
initiation maybe
fair.
to different, levels of. Like,
I wasn't on his label. I was on Entertainment. He was
Right.
in my session in
remember
Hip
that
Factory.
day. I was right in the
So
hole.
back
so
to
then it went back. So that
yeah. So now
tension-
we started. Now we started getting popping on Roc-A-Fella, and he was like not really giving no too much love. But we like cool anyway. It's no big deal.
But let me
So
ask you. I mean, he being part of the actual, running Roc-A-Fella with Dame, he had to have given the green light for you guys to even be on there, and also to have the budgets that you had and to have the access that you had.
I think he's, you know what I think, and it's with me too. I think he's a great businessman, but he's a competitor. He doesn't like people who's just as good or maybe better on the same label as him. It's cool when you got not dissing them, but Bleak and Beans is like coming underneath him. Like, I always want Jim and Jewels once we got in the door to be equal or above me, because I just rather kick back and chill out. You know what I'm saying? If people coming in that label with the same amount of talent and the same amount of, way more swag, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you couldn't handle it, you know what I mean? So anyway, back to what I was saying, you could be all fairness all you want, man. I'm being all fairness. I'm telling you the truth, what happened. So anyway, we had like Old Boy popping, Hey Ma. We had a few songs pop, whatever. I don't even remember the song. So now he comes back again. Now I'm on label. So he's like, yo, let me talk to you. Like, it's been a little tension around, you know what I'm saying? I want you to know I fuck with you, you know what I'm saying? I said, yo, we fuck with you, my nigga. It's all good. We all good.
Everything gotta be so theatrical,
yeah,
right?
Like, yo, I'm like, we fuck with you. He's like, nah, because, y'all niggas is running around. My niggas is in here running around, you know what I'm saying?
That nigga cool game
Shit
is
crazy.
too cool.
Yeah, so we like, all right, my nigga. I was like, bust it. Here's what we could do. Just Blaze got a beat up right now in the studio I'm about to do. Let's go knock it out. We heard it.
What was the beat?
The New York City beat.
Okay, welcome to
We
New
did
York
that
City.
joint in like 30, 35 minutes, knocked it out. It came out crazy.
Yeah.
Nah, y'all gotta say, you gotta tell them.
No, I'm telling them
This is
everything.
like a fight. Like, listen, who went in first? You?
Yeah, Cam went in first.
I'm gonna
Cam went in first.
Cam went in, like they was going back to back. I don't think nobody wrote anything. Like it just Cam went in, then Jay went right in. Then you see Jay come out, go inside the game room, looking at his niggas like I got these little niggas. Then Cam would go right back in, and then Jay would come like it was like a fight, like a one punch for another. Like Cam would do his verse, Jay would do his verse, Cam going right back in, Jay going right back in.
Hold on. Let's get to I was actually supposed to be on the rec. Cam, anything he did with anybody, he always let me put a verse on, and if they kept it, they kept it. If that was a record, he was like, oh, nah, we put my man Jewels on this. So I was supposed to do the third verse. So Cam went in 2 minutes, heard the beat, did his verse. Jay went in maybe 3 minutes later, did his verse. So I'm like, damn, this is Cam and Jay. I'm writing. I'm still like, oh, I gotta come with I gotta come with it. So Cam looking at me like, oh, you ain't ready? I'm like, nah, I had the first two bars. My bars that I had for my round wound up being the chorus. It's the home of 9/11. So make a long story short, they was just too quick on the draw for me that day. You know what I'm saying? So I missed out on that third verse, but I caught the hook, so it was all good.
Yeah. So, right, you know what I'm saying? Nah, dead ass though. Nah, he right. He ended up doing the chorus. He like, yo, why don't you put your man on the chorus? You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
It was an ill chorus, though.
nah, it was stupid.
Yeah, but
so,
he ain't want to do the video.
nah, let me finish. So now I'm like, song is popping. I take to the radio, shit popping, shit going on. So I come in the studio, I'm like, yo, Jay, shit popping. We might should get ready to do the video for you. Like, yo, I'm about to go downstairs real quick. I'll be back. That was the last of the whole video, because I'm like,
And we had a
that's
full
my
treatment.
final
We had
straw.
the whole
I don't
treatment.
care what Dame say no more. This killing me. You know what I'm saying? I'm going crazy
So
trying to
that
be
was
this
the
nice.
last of the that was the last conversation
That
you ever
started
had
I
about
can't
Kanye.
be much too nice, but for so damn long, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, shit. It wasn't really no beef, but it's like, yo, whatever. What's up, man? I'm going in here. You know, I'm not
Keep
gonna
it
do
funky.
that.
I'll tell you what really set it off. Like this was discussed it, and Cam said we ain't fucking with them no more.
Okay.
That Roc-A-Fella tour.
Word.
We was slated to be on a Roc-A-Fella tour
Rock
for a
the
good
mic,
amount of
right?
money. And like a week before, somebody called Cam, and then Cam told us that we not on the tour no more, and we ain't fucking with them. And then Cam had us go to all like 5 of the shows, and it's be in the crowd with 40 niggas taunting them niggas. Like we here anyway. What's up?
Really?
Ohio, hey.
What was the who told you that you were not going to be on the tour?
I don't remember exactly who told me or whatever, but it didn't make no sense. They took everybody from Roc-A-Fella on the tour and then take us, and we just sold 1 million records 2 months prior to the tour. So
It was blatant, obvious, some type of, because we was the, if
We
not
had
at that
meetings and
time,
everything.
and just as hot as Jay. You know what I'm saying? We had records that was out of this world. There was no reason we shouldn't have been on that tour. You know what I'm saying? No reason at all.
Wow. And did you take that up with Dame? Like, couldn't you then lobby Dame? That was your guy.
to be honest, we was in so many different states doing whatever we was doing that we had our own plan, never to even argue with Dame, because Dame wasn't really on tour. It wasn't like he's for some reason, I don't know why Dame wasn't on this tour, but he wasn't there. Yeah, because he wasn't on the tour. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't there. And we was planning. We had our feet planted in a lot of states. They was in Ohio. We was in Ohio, 100 niggas. Chicago, Indiana, Kentucky, North Carolina.
North
We was in a lot of
Carolina.
states. Like, yeah, we flew here too, Jack. We here. Like, and we knew like 100 people in every state, so we was already there.
Another thing that a lot of people keep wondering is about H to the Izzo. You've said that Kanye promised you that beat and then, took the beat away, and you were really pissed about it. Do you still own a copy of your verse on H to the Izzo?
See, like you said, this a whole nother era. You might gotta go get a tape. What's that?
Real to real.
A real or something. Yeah.
So you don't?
Nah, I don't have. What happened was, Kanye came out. He wasn't down with Roc-A-Fella. He wasn't down with nobody. He just came from Chicago and was shopping beats around, and he wasn't even like thought about rapping and nothing. And he came to my session and played that beat. I'm like, that's that Michael Jackson joint right there. You know what I'm saying? That joint is hot. I did the whole song. I'm like, yo, tell Kanye we gonna buy that joint. And then we heard Jay-Z. He came like on a Friday. We heard Jay-Z joint on the radio like on Monday.
Nah, not on the
So-
radio. We seen it on the BET show,
Oh,
remember?
No, we
With,
seen
with
Yeah, you
Snoop
saw it on
Doggy
BET.
Dogg.
Nah, he ain't
I was
tell
in
me
your
nothing.
house.
You were
Or
watching
something, I
BET and
forget.
you saw it,
And we
you were
saw
like,
it.
that's my
Performed
song.
it. Nah, he ain't
That's when
called
Jay brought everybody on
Yeah,
stage.
when he
Everybody
brought
came on
everybody on
stage.
stage, yeah.
And he did it for the
Snoop and
first
all
Whatever,
time.
whatever it was, I don't know if, like you said, it could have been, but it was 2 days after he played it for us. It was like, he heard that joint, it was like, we doing this right this second, yo. So,
Do you think that there's a lot of outtakes to the album, to Diplomatic Immunity, that are still like maybe in the hands of producers? I mean, Just Blaze actually played at one point Jewels' lost verse and a little bit of Jimmy's verse from I Really Mean It. So he had that. Just Blaze. And he played it on the radio on
I don't even know.
just Blaze doing a Ron G mixtape. He mixing and blending and all that, man. No, ain't not even, didn't no verses that I really mean.
Do
But
you
no
regret
verses.
like not keeping a lot of those outtakes? Now they have to clarify it with each other.
Now, I did a verse to that.
Yes.
But that was one of those Cam Popular that was like, nah, I need this whole beat. He had some things on his mind. That's when he said body warm, heart anemic. He went in on that one. So it was like,
I
all right.
remember, to be honest, before that, my man G. Roberson, who's the
Hip hop and G.
G. Roberson, who's chairman of Geffen right now. You know, congratulations to him and Gene Nelson and all that. But
Hip
I
hop.
remember he called me. He's an A&R at Atlantic at that time, and he needed a record for Little Kim, and I wrote not them same lyrics, but I wrote like the same kind of format for Little Kim, and she didn't like it. And I ended up just keeping it.
Oh, interesting. Talk about the producers that you did work with on Diplomatic Immunity, like between Just and Heatmakers
Heatmakers.
and who else do we have on
That's
here?
basically it. It was like Just Blaze
Yeah.
and the Heatmakers.
They did
And a
it
couple of just
almost
miscellaneous, mediocre. No, we had Self, because Self did the
Yeah, South was nice.
everything.
he was good.
Charlemagne, DR
Charlemagne.
period.
DR period. DR period. Yeah.
Do you feel like you had a certain click with them, but how come you didn't keep working with them from there on forward? Like, were there issues that you guys?
Everybody don't change with the times. No, I mean, I think I worked with them a lot on my album. I think we worked with them up till it became a point to where I guess, the music wasn't coming out. You know what I'm saying? We always tried to stay relevant. Sometimes maybe I guess the producers or what have you, you know what I'm saying? It just didn't fit with the next step what we was trying to do. But, I mean, if you see that sound of music, that whole sample sound, everybody's still using it right now. If you listen to a lot of even down south artists, the sped up samples, you know what I'm saying? Even Wayne, he raps to a lot of those type of records. He was,
Do you think that was just because of the producers, or do you feel like you guys also influenced the producers to do that? I mean, was it just something that happened at the right time?
I think with the Heat Makers, I think, you know how when you do a record and then it comes out so great, I think they kind of go back and say, oh, we're going to try to keep doing this. So I think that formula just kind of, it met with us, that soulful. I know I grew up, I'm sure they probably grew up the same way with our mothers playing old school songs. So just being in Harlem, mother dancing, they dance to the old school records, and then you hear these producers sampling these records and just speeding them up. You be like, oh, my moms might like this, and I could rap to it and make the young dudes like it. So it just fit what we was trying to do. I don't think we had a plan to do a certain type of music. Our plan was to just win by just doing whatever we did. Cam brought what he brought to the table. Joel's brought. We all believed in each other that much. So I think the plan was to just do what you do and do it to the best of your ability, and we gonna win.
Right. And Cam, you having seen you in the studio, it's not like you're really the type of artist that directs you're not really telling the producer what kind of sound you want, right?
Now, I don't make beats. If I hear something I like it, then I just know I like it. I'm not really one to be like, do this or do that. At that time, Duke the God, he really like kind of picked the beats out, so I don't have to listen to 200 beats. He might narrow it down to 20 because he knows the sound that I kind of like or was looking for.
And I know we have to, I want to open it up to the audience to ask some questions, but one thing that I definitely got when I asked people on Twitter what they always wanted to know about you guys. You answered a lot of it about the Rock the Mic tour and about H the Izzo and about Welcome to New York City and Oh Boy. But one thing, and Kim, on Twitter, at least once a month, maybe twice a month, somebody, because you're hilarious. I don't know if you guys follow him, but he's hilarious and raunchy, super raunchy. But somebody invariably asks you about this one line, and it must piss you off so much. But I just want to know that in hindsight, what do you think about how infamous the line, I get computers Putin is?
Now, to be honest, it don't.
That line is infamous.
No, yo, you know what it is? I got like the Cameron fans.
Right.
So sometimes their responses are so good that I'm not gonna lie. I take off the RT, the retweet, and act like it was my response. And I'll be like, I'll erase the RT, like, nah, that was pretty hot. Like, I know what you're talking about.
Right.
So, I erase little lines. I cheat.
So you steal those lines on Twitter.
I ain't gonna lie, I steal some.
But then you got the people that be like, oh, you just gonna snatch my joint like that and run with it?
Sometimes, the one she talking about the other day.
But they ask, and I wonder whether it pisses you off. Does it piss you off?
Nah, because they know it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To be honest, doesn't get me mad, but I know what you're talking about. The other day on Twitter, somebody said, do you still get computers Putin? So somebody was like, yo, Cam, tell them this. So I made it seem like I took the retweet. I'm like, oh, that's kind of hard. They said, tell them, yeah, you got your mother computing me right now, download my hard drive. So I was like, oh, that was tough. Yeah, take the RT off, add my little joint, his name.
But so you do, I mean, I do think, like, on the one hand, a lot of people bring that line up when they talk about you. Sort of as an example of, like, sometimes Cam doesn't give a fuck and he just will get ignorant and he'll say anything even if it doesn't make any sense. But on the other hand, I think that anybody who is a fan and knows your music long enough knows that when you go in on a verse, crazy.
I mean, at the end of the day, you could probably use that line, but you can't really. If you ask me about any lines, I'll break them down to you. I'll explain to them. If you ain't get them, I'll break it down. But you're not going to be around, and I know it sounds crazy because I don't even like saying it, but, you know, you're not going to be in this business 14, 15 years not knowing what you're doing and not being able to rhyme. I saw my deal in 1997.
Yeah.
It's 2011. I don't know. I know people who did one and out. I know people I went to the airport. I'm not even going to say the rapper would, you know, grab my luggage for the cab. You know what I'm saying? So just to be around this long, it's like, it's a blessing. You know what I'm saying? I'm very happy, and I
Definitely. Give it
appreciate
up
the
for that.
fans, too.
Oh,